Before borders were drawn, hidden words decided who belonged and who vanished. Imagine trying to cross a line on the map not with documents, but with a single word, a phrase, or even just your accent. This is the story of how accidental passwords shaped nations and how a simple slip of the tongue could change history. Let's start with one of the oldest, the story of Shibboleth. During a biblical conflict, the Gileadites used this Hebrew word as a password. People fleeing across the river were asked to say Shibboleth. Those who couldn't pronounce the first sh sound, mostly enemy Ephraimites, were revealed by their tongues, and often denied passage. In this way, a single sound drew an invisible border, enforced not by soldiers, but by language itself. Centuries later, medieval Europe saw its own versions. In Portugal, during the Reconquista, Christian and Muslim armies vied for territory and suspicion ran high. Soldiers would test strangers with phrases unique to their dialects. If you hesitated, or your accent betrayed you, your fate was sealed. These accidental passwords, often just common words, became tools of survival. In World War II, the D-Day landings needed a simple, unbreakable code to tell friend from foe. American paratroopers challenged anyone approaching at night to say flash. The correct answer, thunder. Even if a German infiltrator knew the exchange, their pronunciation might give them away. This wasn't high-tech espionage, it was trust in the subtleties of speech. Borders weren't only physical. In the Netherlands, the word Scheveningen became a linguistic password during Nazi occupation. The Dutch could pronounce it smoothly, but German spies struggled with the guttural sounds. One word could mean safety for some, deadly suspicion for others. In South Africa, during the apartheid era, languages and accents signaled identity and belonging, sometimes more than any passport. The line between insider and outsider was drawn anew each time people spoke. A misplaced word could mean exclusion, or worse. Even in the United States, language was a silent gatekeeper. Immigrants arriving at Ellis Island were sometimes admitted, or turned away, based on a misheard name or misunderstood question. The right words, spoken the right way, became a kind of passport. These stories remind us that borders aren't just lines on a map, they live in our minds and mouths. A password isn't always a secret code, sometimes, it's just a word you happen to say differently. Through history, language has been the gatekeeper, drawing boundaries and deciding fates. So next time you struggle with a word in another language, remember, once, that word might have been the key to a nation or a sentence to exile. What other passwords are we using, without even knowing it? Follow Lorelight for more stories worth knowing.